Okay, so when you're blending woods, you want to think about what is in the base layer. And in your case, it's the all the millwork and the flooring because it's all the same color. So what
Yes.
you want to think about is having wood that is represented within that foundational color. So
Okay.
even with these, knotty pine spots here,
Hmm.
that is in the color of the credenza.
Okay.
My thought would be, let's not replace it if we don't need to. And I would even
Okay.
say right now, the color of your dining room table, to me, that is not problematic. The thing that really stands out to me is how dark and deep the red chairs are. And so,
Yes.
one thing that I would think about would be replacing it. Let's say you kept the table, replacing these, and I don't know how you feel about upholstered chairs, but having kind of a Parsons chair upholstered in a lighter color. We grew up with the phrase, home is where the heart is, but our culture has shifted and now the message is, home should be Pinterest perfect. I'm calling BS on that message. Home, it's not about the stuff, it's about the story. And whether you know it or not, your home is a reflection of you and is already saying something. So what is it that you want it to say? Hey, I'm Danny, a former first grade teacher turned home decorator. Going from a dual income to a single income so I could stay home with my babies meant budget, like ramen eating, Goodwill shopping budget. And I learned a few things along the way, like how to bring big style to your home without breaking the bank. And I'm sharing it all with you. Tips, tricks, decor, and design advice so you can learn to tell your story with your style. Where you can start living free from the Pinterest perfect trap and start living a life of intention. Welcome to Fig and Farm at Home, where we design happy living and where it doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. All right, so the goal for your call is you want to create a warm, relaxed, calm, inviting space where your friends and family feel at home. You're thinking it feels a little bit unfinished and it needs
Oh,
some
yeah.
more, a new sofa, pillows, art, and decor. You want it to feel like a hug, not cluttered. Okay, I'm going to have you pronounce that word.
I can't remember. I saw that it's like Yuga or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah, we want to say like hygge, but
It's
it's like
not. Yeah. Yeah.
um comfortable with lots of textures and maybe your modern farmhouse. And honestly, the architecture of your home kind of lends itself to that, Dee. It
Does
really,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. Great.
All of
Great.
that lovely wood wrapped, the millwork and all of that.
Okay.
Okay, in places you like to shop, Hobby Lobby, Amazon, do you have a Target nearby?
Yes,
Okay, do you like to shop there too?
I do. But I don't often find much there.
Oh,
But
okay,
but I like going there.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. My cart is very happy at Target. Now I do the online ordering so that I just get what I need,
Uh,
drive up, and I get it. Okay, so just so that we are kept on track, we'll want to make sure that we come back to these, but I want to see the picture on the floor next to the wood lamp.
mhm.
Um, okay, and the lampshade is temporary. Okay.
Yes.
The gallery wall of Brady. How old is Brady now?
He is now 11.
Okay, I was gonna say because some of that artwork looked a little bit more advanced now. Okay.
Yeah. And I only have one grandson, so it's fun to put those things up and
Oh yeah.
we all enjoy it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he probably loves knowing that he can come over here and see the yard.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, dining room table you'll probably replace and the red leather chairs. Okay. All right. Okay, let's get started.
Okay.
Okay, so this is your living room with and I'm just orienting myself here because I see that credenza back here and your table.
Yes. Yes.
And then
So you're going to see two things have been taken down because we painted and I didn't bother putting things back.
okay. How are you liking the Swiss coffee color?
I love it.
Mm.
And so does my family. And now one of my sons and daughter-in-law, they're now painting their house this color.
Yeah, fantastic. It really can tone down, and especially with your wood, Dee, you have so much wood here, and it's so lovely. Anytime you put a yellow next to a wood, it just warms it up. Um, sometimes too much, sometimes appropriately, like if you're wanting to do kind of a Tuscan feel, or you know,
Yeah.
something like that. But if we're kind of going towards a little bit more transitional, maybe a little bit more modern farmhouse look, this is a great, great anchor piece that's going to be very timeless for you.
Wonderful. Yeah, and it changes color,
Oh,
depending on the where the sun is and outside. And
yeah.
the one thing we do notice, and why I talk about warming it up, is because right now when it does snow, it's so bright out that that's reflecting inside. So I'd like to somehow warm up the inside
Okay,
in
perfect.
look.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. When you say warm up,
Oh,
what
yeah.
comes to mind to you?
That what I'm missing the most are pillows,
Okay.
color, some
Okay.
color, like, oh, you were so good that last the question and answer on how to put pillows together
Yeah.
and using color or design. And I think that's what I need is some sort of color, maybe a difference in the throw colors that I have out here,
Okay.
something that makes it a little more warm
Yeah.
to me. That's, yeah.
And then, there are, when we think about colors in general, there's like two sides of the spectrum. There are warm colors, and then there are cool colors. And
Yes.
you can go cool, warm, and warm, cool, but just in the very broad sense of the word, right now you have very warm colors in your home with the reds.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I remember when I came in and I was doing that little mock-up for you for your room edit,
Mhm.
my recommendation was blue. How did you feel about that? Tell me your thoughts about that.
Sure. And I think you also went blue because I had a lot of blue in here too. Like that picture over the mantle
Yeah.
had a lot of blue, and my kitchen has blue things in there. I was sort of changing. But once we had that visit, I realized I'm not blue.
Oh, you're not blue.
I
Okay.
feel like I'm not that blue. Yes, because it wasn't warm enough.
Oh,
When,
interesting. Okay.
yes. And so I was missing the red
Okay. Okay.
because,
One of the reasons I chose blue wasn't actually because of that picture. One of
oh,
the reasons I chose it is because of the tone of the wood you have in your home. And
okay.
you have that honey oak kind of color. To me, I love the way that blue contrasts with it, that cool kind of contrast with the warmth of the wood. And so
Yes.
in my mind, blue is kind of a natural, it just flows. It just goes so nice
Ah,
with that kind of color of wood.
okay.
Now, if that does that mean that we have to go with blue? No, we don't have to. If you like red, we can choose some other colors that way. But I do think we should start there. I think we should
Okay.
probably pick a color palette that you enjoy, and maybe red is an accent color, like a
Mm,
secondary accent rather than a primary color. And this is kind of a weird question, but if
okay.
you and Jim were to go take your kids and you're going to go do a night on the town and it's a show and it's, you're going out to dinner and you have to kind of dress fancy. Kids might get a little sad about this. Not 8-year-old. Brady might get sad about this. What would you wear? Like, what would be your favorite outfit? Tell me about it in color, in texture, in flowiness. I want to hear all about it.
Wow. And this is somewhere very nice you're talking about, which is
Yeah.
not generally us.
Yeah. Well,
But it would prob
it would be like oh, I better do my hair. And Jim, he should probably make sure he puts on his nice shoes. That kind of thing.
Yes, I would probably put on a black dress with some sparkles
Okay.
if it's that nice.
Okay.
And it might actually in the past, and I have worn red accessories with that.
Okay.
And that's what I'd wear.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Well, okay. That to me sounds very classic. And so,
Yes.
what the reason I do that and the reason I want to have that idea is because there can be, I don't know if you heard that podcast of my coaching call with Sharon a while ago, where she was describing this really fun, flowy, really vibrant colored outfit. And that was
Yes.
in contrast to what we were talking about on our call. And so we want some classic design. And right here, actually, Dee, this picture, this really lovely piece of furniture, that to me is very classic. Like that is timeless and has the ability to kind of transcend this modern decorating era, right? It can live in
Mm,
that space really, really well. We just want it to live nicely in that area, as well as some of the other things that you bring in.
okay.
So we are going classic.
Okay.
Doesn't mean grandma, um, and timeless.
Okay.
And when I think about that, I think about transitional pieces. Very Scandinavian, actually. This is very
Hmm.
right on the mark here. So that it has really clean lines, and
Hmm.
then we're able to play with some of the accessories.
I kind of like I didn't put anything on that shelf after Thanksgiving. I use that for that you just I mean if you go down
Oh,
that
this
that
oh,
wood shelf
okay.
because I have decorations on there, but I use it for food, appetizers and things. So I
That's
just cleared it off and
yeah,
didn't put anything back
yeah.
because I was wondering what you might suggest.
Is this a pony wall with just a
Yes.
shelf? Okay,
Yeah, it just the shelf, and then it has kind of two beams on each side, and then another little shelf to the front door.
okay. I'm gonna scroll up. Don't get dizzy. I just want to
Oh,
what that looks like from this vantage point. Oh, right here.
yeah,
Okay.
and
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know that I would put anything there. I think I
oh,
would
interesting.
probably, especially knowing that one of your things that you wanted was kind of that non-cluttered, really
Yes.
clean, easy to be around look. I kind of like this really simple one flower vase, or if you wanted to, play with it sometimes and maybe you have a bowl with flowers or, something like that. But I would not do any kind of styling like I would for a mantle here or like I would for this credenza back here. I think I would let it breathe a little bit.
Okay. If I can ask you too on that credenza, and it would be under the gallery wall. We usually have go back up.
I think this one,
Right. Well, no, that's yes. And we usually have where you see Brady's picture sitting there, we usually have family pictures of different things we've all done and things together. And the family loves coming over to look at that,
okay.
to see their pictures. And I love that warmth. And they gather to talk and visit.
Yeah.
But I've never considered until I met you is looking at the frames I'm putting them in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never even thought of it, and now it really makes sense to me.
Right.
Like to either make them all the same, or I was wondering, should I bring some gold into it, or I
Yeah. Well, I
see
think
going to that color. Yeah.
right. Yes, and we might want to, especially if we want to have that warmth of the red. And I think, okay, if we go back to that color palette, D, I think I want red to be not as strong in your home as it
Yeah.
currently.
I
So,
agree.
okay, so I'm kind of thinking red would be like 10%.
Okay.
Now, I do have some ideas in mind immediately that if you can imagine going back to that little room edit I did for you, and now transferring some of those blue pieces, like the ottoman that had the blue pinstripe on it, now
Yes.
we have
Yes.
a light red ticking, or we have, a couple red pillows rather than the big blue pillows. But even the curtains, for example, like the curtains that are in your dining room, maybe
Yes.
having that be something where there might be a teeny little bit of red on it, but not as much red as there currently is.
Ah, okay.
So we're gonna play with that too.
All right.
In terms of metals, so I see this
Mm.
gold right here.
Yes. And that lamp can go.
Oh, okay, okay.
It does. It was just a funny thing, and
Oh,
I happened to leave it there. But that
okay,
does not have to be
okay.
there.
You don't. Okay, okay, okay. That's good to know. Now, okay, we're kind of jumping all over the place, and I do want to make sure
Yeah.
that we're staying cohesive with what we're talking about too. But as we're here in this picture, the family pictures that are normally here, are these
Yes.
family photos? Like you've taken a photo at a photo shoot? Is that what you're meaning, or it's all
No, these are pictures we've taken or someone in the family has taken on an adventure that we all have together.
okay?
Or
Okay,
yeah, and those are there.
okay.
And yeah, like an apple tree farm thing, getting pumpkins, things like that.
Okay, cute. Here is what I'm wondering. Now, I love this. artwork of Brady. I think it's so sweet and really charming. Do you want all of it up, or do you want to have it up sometimes, or what are your thoughts here?
I would love to hear what you have to say because I'm a person, if I put something up, it's there forever.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would love not to do that.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a hallway that,
Yes,
and is it off of like the dining room going down, or can you show me real
it's,
quick if I
I think so. I think I can.
or at least you don't have to take me
Okay.
somewhere, but just orient me that way.
Okay, I'm trying to see where I am with this. Where am
I
I?
can see.
This is my front door.
Okay.
And then this is to the hallway, and then the hallway is here. I don't know. You probably
Oh,
can't
yeah.
see.
Okay.
And it goes the other way as well.
Okay.
So, is that
Okay.
enough?
Great. Yes, I think
All
that's
right.
good. I think
Okay.
that's good. Oh, and then okay, actually stop right there, Dee, really quick before you sit down.
Okay.
Can you turn so that from there I can see the dining room?
Yes.
Don't go into it. I just want to see
Oh,
from there how much space we have.
um, I'm trying. Can you see it?
Yep, and up just a little bit.
Up this way?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. I can go closer if you want.
Well, what I'm looking at is to see how much space there is between the curtain and where the
Oh,
credenza is.
do you want me to show you that?
Yeah.
Not a lot, because we have to push that down, the credenza, when we have family meals to bring in another table, even. It's not a big
Okay.
space.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps or
But it
not.
is big enough,
I've got
big
space for
enough for
pictures.
some art and some pictures.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's empty now.
Okay, here's what I'm wondering.
Okay,
I,
should I
I'm
go back?
Yeah, I'm loving this idea. And you can, I don't know that I can share because I don't think I have that space. Okay, so right here, I'm wondering actually the space between the credenza and the window. I'm wondering if that can be your gallery wall of bigger frames, same frame. Maybe it's black with a white mat, and the pictures all black and white of your family adventures. So like
Um,
the apple picking, that kind of thing.
yes.
And we would fill maybe that space as much as we can. So here is one piece of homework for you. So your first homework is to measure the space between the credenza and the curtain,
Okay.
because I want to see what we will ideally do is we will see how much we can fill that space with pictures,
Okay.
and we'll probably want it to be 3/4 full. Does that
Okay.
does that sound like, oh, that's too much?
Just, I don't know. It
Okay.
doesn't.
Okay. So maybe 3/4 full, and that will just kind of give us a guideline of like what kind of frames we're looking at.
Okay, and you're just talking about the credenza to the curtain, not over the
Yes,
credenza.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Because we're gonna let that be a little shrine to Brady. We're gonna let that just stay as it is. But what I'm kind of thinking is having as we have the gallery wall where the in that big open space, maybe where Brady's artwork is, maybe we actually do something kind of fun and have a bigger piece or even a layering piece with that. And so here's what I'm thinking. Like we want his artwork is going to constantly be changing. And
Yes.
so either we have one big frame and we have kind of a standard picture in the middle, a
Hmm.
standard thing in the middle where we just change it out every once in a while, or
Okay.
we can do something really creative and have like little snapshots of all of the artwork he's done kind of over time and replace it maybe every 4 years or something like that, so that it's big and you can see like, oh my gosh, Brady was 2 when he did that, and so
Yes.
but it's bigger. So what I'm picturing here, let me just go ahead and draw this for you,
Okay.
is something a little bit, oops, that's a great straight line,
Ah,
something big.
yes.
And I always like matted pictures, even and especially with kid art, because it just makes it feel like um, it makes it just feel a little bit more
Yeah.
elevated.
Yes.
So that's option one, kind of
Okay.
making his thing more prominent in that space. And in this case, we would do 2/3 of the width of the credenza,
Oh,
not
okay.
so we would do it would be bigger. What I'm picturing here, and this is all in red only because that's the color of my pen, not necessarily because that's the color I would like for you.
Yes.
A lamp with a bear.
Yes. Yes.
I'm kind of picturing, we want to kind of tone down that wood tone just a little bit. So I'm actually picturing something white here.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
would be pretty.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it would layer.
And would it have a white shade on it and a white
Yeah.
and like a drum
Uh-huh.
type?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
It could even be like a slightly tapered empire, just a slight.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
want one that's really like this, but just slightly could be
All
okay.
right.
Like I think there's one behind me, like that.
Oh, yes. I see it. Can I have it?
Yes. Yes.
That's pretty.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay, so that's option one is to have
Okay.
front and center. We make, his little artwork bigger, and then the gallery wall of family photos that are just kind of playful and fun, and this is what we do together. But I would have them all black and white so they don't compete color wise
Ah,
with Brady's color here.
I've never thought of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll make it much more cohesive. So, if you're in swimsuits and the water's very vibrant blue, but then you're in the snow and it's all lots of white, it just makes it
Yes.
feel like
Yes.
it's going together.
And then frame colors, Danny, would you
I
make them all the same color?
Yes, I think I would have them all the same color, and I think I would have them be black.
Okay.
And chunkier is better here. Hobby
Mhm.
Lobby is going to be your friend here, Dee, because
Yes.
they have always 50% off their frames.
Yep.
And I would even do a chunkier frame. And when I say chunky, I mean, 2 inches.
Okay.
So like these frames here are a little bit too thin.
Yes.
And so, but before you do any of that work for that gallery wall, we're going to want to just make sure the measurements are there and we get, the pictures. But I'm kind of picturing, either two kind of columns of really big prints, like 25 by 25, or a 2 by 2. So I'm picturing kind of four big frames with big matting, smaller pictures.
Got it. I see now.
So let me just imagine.
And are you now talking about the family pictures?
Yeah.
Yes.
So just imagine this is your open space over here.
Okay.
And, the framing, oopsie. The framing might be about that big, but your picture
Mm-hmm.
might be that big, something like that. And I can help you select those as we get closer.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Huh. This is new. Like, and then they're black and white.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they won't compete so much with the coloring of Brady's artwork. We'll let that still.
Right. Right.
Now down here, like, some of these pieces of art that you have collected over time, if they don't, and we might want to think creatively about how we're going to make one big piece, but and maybe we just say, hey, Brady, we're going to commission you. Can you make one big piece? Maybe we just do that.
Yeah.
And these might be good candidates for living in your hallway,
Yes.
being in a gallery wall in your hallway. And in that case, you don't need to change the frames at all. You can just leave them as they are and hang them how you want to there and in a little bit more organically.
That sounds good because you know what's in the hallway really now? Nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
So that might work. It's pretty narrow, but yeah, yeah.
And how
that
fun
might
would that be to have that color there? And yeah.
Yes. Huh. Interesting. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
And do you think it's fine that the shade of wood that's so dark, that credenza, does that look fine with what we're talking about?
I do, because you have Okay, so when you're blending woods, you want to think about what is in the base layer. And in your case, it's all the millwork and the flooring because it's all the same color. So what
Yes.
you want to think about is having wood that is represented within that foundational color. So
Okay.
even with these, knotty pine spots here,
Mm-hmm.
that is in the color of the credenza.
Okay.
My thought would be, let's not replace it if we don't need to.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would, because we do like that. It's really handy and really nice
Yeah.
to put everything in. So, yeah.
And I would even
Okay.
say right now, the color of your dining room table, to me, that is not problematic. The thing that really stands out to me is how dark and deep the red chairs are. And so,
Yes.
um,
Yep.
one thing that I would think about would be replacing it. Let's say you kept the table, replacing these, and I don't know how you feel about upholstered chairs, but having kind of a Parsons chair, a
Mm-hmm.
shape of a Parsons chair, and that's just a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
and upholstered in a lighter color. And if you needed to, the performance fabrics these days are so much better than they had been. So
Right.
you can sometimes have like an oatmeal color that isn't gonna,
Okay.
you don't have to worry too much about.
And I hate to bounce around again, but
That's
when and I can visualize that, and I think I would like that. That's also the color I'm thinking of for the sofa and love seat.
yeah.
Is that okay?
Yes. Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Because let's bounce there and let me tell you what I see when I see that space.
Okay.
Because right here from this vantage point, you have all of this lovely wood, and we want that to be, I mean, there's no need for you to have a focal wall because of this wood. It's just so gorgeous. But
Uh,
what we see here, the landscape of a lot of this room here is brown.
yes.
The brown, of course, of the wood, but then you have the brown shades, the brown chairs, the brown couch,
Hmm.
the brown ottoman,
Hmm.
and all the wood tones. And so if we can lighten that up, it is going to, it's going to have a very different feel in your space. It's going to feel warmer than the,
Ah, okay. I thought maybe it would be too bright in here.
I don't think so. I mean, it might be bright on those, especially those really sunny, snowy days.
Yes.
It might be bright. But I don't think so because the textures we're going to bring in and some of the colors that we're going to be bringing in, I think are going to be playing nicely enough with
Oh,
that
good.
lighter
Great.
color that
Okay.
it's going to feel warm and inviting rather than, spotlight on your face bright.
Yes.
We don't want that.
All right.
Dee and I continued our conversation, and what you won't hear here, but what we covered was that we were setting a really great foundation for the changes that she wanted to make. This, after all, was her open concept area that included her dining room, her kitchen, her entryway, her living room. And the thing that is going to make this really that timeless, classic, modern farmhouse kind of transitional feel is the foundation she has already set. She already has lovely wood flooring and millwork around her windows, but she just recently changed her wall coloring from a really warm yellow to a lighter neutral Swiss coffee in order to let that wood have its moment. And you hear me say that within this podcast. That is going to be pivotal, the very first thing in order to make the rest of the little pieces of the puzzle fall together. I absolutely love it when I can share with clients that no, actually, you don't need to change that piece of furniture. You don't need to get a new thing here. All we need to do is change this one other element there. And if you caught it, I did that with Dee in her dining room. Her credenza, she was wondering, do I need to get rid of it? Nope, not at all. Actually, it works. Her dining room table, she was thinking maybe she would get rid of. I don't think she needs to unless she wants to. If you're doing the math like I'm doing the math, we probably saved her right there about $2,000. Friend, when I work on a Decorating SOS call with you, I lead you to the most important, most dramatic, most impactful change first. And oftentimes it is not spending the thousands of dollars. It's one of the things I pride myself in when I work with a client and we walk away making intentional design choices, spending our money really, really wisely rather than just spending it because we think we have to make a change. When you know which changes need to be made first because you know how much of an impact they're going to make in your room, that is power. And decorating SOS calls are not just me teaching you how to decorate, it's me joining you and guiding you and asking you questions so that you can start learning on your own ways that you can use what you have, the time and resources that you have, including the budget that you have, ways that you can honor your family, your family's story, the family history. In Dee's case, she wanted to showcase her grandson's art. She also wanted to keep a vintage, what I'm thinking is a dresser, but she's using as an entryway table. These are storied pieces that are important to her and her family, and decorating SOS calls honor all of that. It makes my heart so happy when I hear clients talk about how they never thought of it that way, or, oh, that's an interesting idea. I haven't thought of that idea, or I wouldn't even know to think of that idea. As you heard Dee say that multiple times throughout the call, it wasn't something that she even knew to think about. Because how do you know what you don't know? You don't. You don't until you are informed and guided and questions are prompted and answers are encouraged and exploring is happening. And a decorating SOS call allows you the space, time, and flexibility to walk side by side in order to accomplish the goals that you have for your house. I would absolutely imagine that you have goals for your house. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to the show. You have goals, you like decorating, you maybe want to learn a thing or two. Now, what is happening after that? What is taking that learning and putting it into action? If you have not yet put that learning into action, a decorating SOS call is perfect for you. If you think that the conversations I share, the decorating SOS conversations I share, the ones recently with Dee and Nicole, seem really not intimidating, guess what? They're not. It is really like having a coffee chat. We get a lot accomplished in a 1 hour span of time. When you come with your best questions laid out, an idea of what you might want to do, it's my job to piece it all together. It's my job to put it into order. It's my job to allow you to know what the next steps are. Dee walked away with 5 pieces of homework. You only heard 1 in this call. So friend, if that is you, if you are wanting to know what step you need to take in order to reach that end goal, because we know you have it, start by booking a decorating SOS call. Grab it now, put it in your stocking. Grab it now, wrap it for your husband, and then put it under the tree. Whatever it is, do it for yourself, because you don't just deserve to live in a home that is meh, that you just are okay with. You deserve to live in a home that you delight in, and I would be honored to help you get there. You can book that call by going to figandfarmathome.com/decorating-SOS. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Hey, real quick before you go, if you learned something new or found value in today's podcast, would you head over to iTunes to Fig and Farm at Home and leave a review and subscribe to the show? That would be awesome. And if you'd like to connect with my community of mamas who are learning to be intentional storytellers within their own homes, join us at bit.ly/design101 group. There's always more room at the table. See you soon.